Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with more Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. Alright, so we just beat the Silver Dragon. I'm actually doing this episode post-commentary because I didn't like how episode 79 actually turned out. Mostly because of how I recorded to begin with, but... So, we beat the Silver Dragon. We want to find out what it is Garland's, aiming to accomplish. It's like, no, that's what Terra wants. What's your goal? I was created to oversee Terra. I exist to wait for a time when this world is without life or death. The absolute controller of this planet. Alright, so now we are fighting Garland, the man himself. So this is going to be fun. And, yeah. This is the reason why I added locomotion to everyone, because he likes to be just a bastard and play with stop. And I am going to be stealing everything from him, which is one of the reasons why I didn't like how things turned out, because it took forever to steal during these fights. And I wanted to edit, and then I wanted to not edit, so it was a little frustrating. So in the end, I opted for keeping the video rather than having to redo it and risk having even worse steal success, or doing post audio. So I just figured I'll keep it and do post audio. So let's talk about Garland, shall we? He's level 62, has 40,000 HP. He has ninja gear, battle boots, and dark gear, and those are the items that we are after. We kind of want all of them because all of them have a really useful purpose. And that wave attack is just frustrating. Just beyond frustrating. So, also, Zidane's steel rates, still beyond frustrating. But anyway, just working on the fight. I spend a lot of time with Freya using Lancer to try to burn through his MP so that he stops throwing out spells. Like, we don't need to see Flare anymore. We don't need that. We don't need Flare hitting us. Stop, that's one thing, because that basically is a wasted turn, as long as we all have locomotion. So it's fine. If he wants to waste a turn to not do any damage to us, I'm okay with that. But Flare, on the other hand, that I don't want to mess with. And as you can see, Zidane's taking a fair bit of damage. I used attack to make sure he still has everything, or if I got everything. Managed to get everything. Now he's just going to die. That is the goal for everything, is just him dying. Except he manages to take out Zidane with that wave attack, which caught me really off guard. I was not expecting that at all. So yeah, that's what happens. However, at this point, we're just gonna unload as much damage on him as possible. We've got auto regen and haste on a fair number of people. I forgot to put auto regen on. Well, no, I put it on center. I forgot to put haste on Freya. Is what I forgot to do. So I knew I forgot to do something. So these are things that I forget, and that, again, I could have gone back and re-recorded it, but it doesn't matter. She's got the shoes on for it. She'll learn the ability. That's the important part of it, is that she will learn the ability. In the meantime, we are just going to continue to throw out as much damage as possible and have fun with it, because this is supposed to be like a big fight. We're dealing with Garland, and Garland is, historically a major character in Final Fantasy games. Like, he was the villain of Final Fantasy I. So, at least I'm pretty sure he was the villain of Final Fantasy. He was another Final Fantasy villain. I know that. But here, he's kind of a joke. He is nowhere near as threatening as I was expecting him to be in the grand scheme of things. But he makes it easy on us, because we knew what to expect. And a critical hit from Zidane for 6,000 points of damage. That's fantastic, really. I really hate Psychokinesis. He just reminds me of Asla from Chrono Trigger with the telekinesis. Alright. I think we should be close to done. I don't think he's got that much HP left, but again, he's taking some turns to try to stop, and that's it. We've defeated Garland and his creepy black armor with his glowing red chest. That's it. Garland is down for the count. But since we know we are only on Disc 3, this isn't the end. So, what's going to happen now? What is happening now? Garland seems to have... Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's the Invincible. So, yeah. I forgot that Kuja took the Invincible while we were, you know, trying to get our head back on straight. So, now Kuja has the power of the Invincible, and he's using it to make himself stronger. Poor Garland, bitten by his own dog. This is no accident. Fate has chosen me to become the rule. No, pretty sure it hasn't. I'm pretty sure you're just mildly delusional. Kuja comes floating down from the Invincible. You know, I don't know when he learned how to fly, but I don't know when Zidane's gonna get that power, since... So, he's gloating because we did his dirty work for him. I really don't think Kuja would have been able to have defeated. To have defeaten. Anyway. I don't think he could have beaten Garland. So, he comes down playing the brother card and gloating that we did his dirty work for him. Watch me as I defeat these enemies of Terra. You may sleep alongside the souls of Terra. You are a gloating ass. Alright, so, this is the section that really caused me to hate the audio that I recorded, the commentary, because this fight with Kuja, had I known what to do, it would have been a little bit easier. He basically will spam... he's spamming Thundaga in this fight, but he has the ability to spam Thundaga, Demi, and Flare. So, it's obnoxious, because he gets a ridiculous number of turns. One good strategy would be, you know, have, you know, Vivi come in and cast Slow, or Quina with Bad Breath, if you've learned that. Those are things that would be good. Another thing would be have Freya attack with Lancer to try to deplenish as much of his MP as possible. So, yeah. The bulk of this fight is me fighting Kuja, because Zidane's steal rate for the very last item, which is the item that I really wanted, is nothing. Like, I just got so frustrated that it was just not happening, for any particular reason. Because the steal mechanics in this game are still rather broken. Even with Master Thief, it still... It helps your steal chances a little bit, but it still makes it, you know, rather frustrating. And during the course of this fight, like, I will end up having 3 people in trance. Freya, Steiner, and Dagger will all come in trance, so... And the fact that I can keep them in trance for the bulk of the fight is a little disturbing. But I managed to pull that off. So, really, the strategy that you want to do with this is just come in with Thunder and Shadow Absorb, or Guard. So, like, as you can see, Dagger's got something on her that's protecting her from lightning attacks. So I was really hoping that Kuja would focus his Thundagas on her, but he's equal opportunity with his Thundagas. So that does not happen. But let's talk about Kuja. We haven't talked about his stuff. He's level 64 with 42,000 HP. The items that you can steal from him are Ether, Carabini Mail, and Light Robe. Ether is useless. Carabini Mail we already have one of, and I'm 90% sure that only Steiner can equip it. So it's kind of pointless to get another one unless it's used in Synthesis, and I don't remember if it's used in Synthesis or not. But how I had originally had this set up is I had this as one really long episode because I've said before, we're coming onto the end of Disc 3, and so I just wanted to get to the end of Disc 3 and have that be it, so that I could do all of the side quests, because there are a lot of side quests that still need to be finished. We still have the last Chocographs to get, we've got everyone's final weapons and armor, we've got the friendly monster side quest that I need to finish, and go find the last friendly monsters. I could do the Kupo Nut side quest, I'm not going to, but I could. We've got the Mognet side quest, we've got a lot of things that can still be done. So I wanted to be able to get to that point where I could just record those clips and not have, you know, a little bit of story with a little bit of backtracking for no reason. We can just have the very last backtracking episode and have that be it. So that was my goal. And when everything ended up recording and the episode ended up being considerably longer than what I had expected, I opted to look at my audio. I was like, I don't really like my commentary, let's just go ahead and cut the commentary. We'll split things up, we'll record a little bit more, and just go from there. So, I think this turns out better than what it was. And I also learned in this fight that if you die in trance, you stay in trance as long as the battle's continuing until your trance meter runs out. So if you are resurrected, you don't lose trance. So that is something to keep in mind. That's something that, you know, you can actually take advantage of should you know, die. But so we've got Steiner, Freya in trance. Dagger will hit trance here in a moment, and that's just what happens. It's a little ridiculous. So this fight, I spend most of my time just healing with Dagger, trying to steal with Zidane, doing nothing with Steiner and Freya so that I can get the last item, the light rope, and then just be done with it. Because I can use their power at the very end to, you know, do some serious damage. But as you can see, Zidane is not stealing. And I had a lot of thoughts about that. None of them pleasant. But like I said, I thought about coming back and just redoing this whole fight, but I didn't want to take the chance that I would get even worse steal results, or, you know, trade this fight for the Garland fight where Garland doesn't give up his items, or just, you know, I hit a really bad patch where both of them decide to pull this and not let me do this. Like, I could have done all this and got to the next save point and then just gone back and redone the fight with just a straight fight and not steal anything. I've done that a couple of times, but I think that would have messed up the flow of the episodes. So, plus, you get to see me fail over and over and over against this. So, you know, it works, I guess. Freya's not... I'm not gonna let Freya die. But at one point, I'm gonna pause it, and that's when I decide to, you know, kind of stop and look and go, okay, what needs to happen here so that I can do this episode the way it needs to be done. So It's... And the thing is, I don't even really need to steal, because I'm 99% sure I can get a light rogue elsewhere. None of this equipment is unique to this. Any of these fights, the Silver Dragon, the Garland fight, or the Kuja fight, like, I know the ninja gear, you can buy that later. So, I don't know why I spend so much time trying to get this gear when I'm relatively certain I can get this gear elsewhere with considerably less hassle, but I need to have steal success rates because one of the things I need to do off screen as well is max out Zidane's steal, because the optional boss side quest that I'm going to be doing, we want to have people that can max out damage. So we want to have people to max out double 99 damage, 9,999. We want people to max that up because the optional boss is... It's a rough fight. At least it can be. It's a little rough, and it's also a little rough luck of the draw. So it can be exceptionally easy if you happen to get, a good break. So I need to max out Zidane, who, if we steal enough items, his thievery skill, where he drops the treasure chest, because it bypasses defense, can cap out damage. Steiner can cap out damage with his shock ability. Freya can... yeah, I paused it because I got the light room. I was like, okay, I was going to take some time off screen, pause it, and this is where I would have started back up of, hey, I finally got it. So Zidane can max out with Thievery, Steiner can max out with Shock, Freya can max out with Dragon Crest if you kill enough dragons, because Dragon Crest, its damage is proportional to the number of dragons you've killed throughout the game. And there are several different enemy types of dragons that count, so there are options that you can kill. The typical strategy is have Quina do level 5 death to the Grand Dragons, and then everything just dies. So, Quina can actually cap out damage as well with Frog Drop if you catch 100 frogs. So, I may stick Quina in the fight for that, to make sure we get that taken care of. But I would have had a severe lack of healing in that party. So, now that we are actually fighting Kuja, now that we are actually doing damage to him, he's going to start taunting us every time we attack. So, he's just kind of an arrogant prick. Also, I've noticed that there's a funky glitch with the emulation of this on a PS3. If you look in the background, there's just flickering of light along certain planes. And it only happens in certain battles when you have a certain camera angle. So, and with Dagger Entrenched, she's got Eidolon, which means, random casts of summons if I cast summons. So, randomly just cast it again. It's like double Eidolon. And she has the Pumice Piece and Boost equipped, so her summons should be doing respectable damage. But also, remember, it's dependent on the number of gems that correspond to that summon. So, because I only have, like, one Garnet, Bahamut's probably not going to be at his max. So, and we are actually getting ready to end this episode. We are about done. We've got, like, about a minute left. So, at this point, everyone's trance is going to start wearing off, and we are going to get the last couple of hits on Kuja, and that'll be it. And I really hate that flickering, but there's nothing I can do about it because it happens even if I tried to re-record the video. Oh, and Kuja's down, so yeah, that's it. Oh, what? What is happening to Kuja? And Kuja's ace up his sleeve. Did we think trance was available only to the heroes? No. Kuja has the ability to use trance as well, and makes him considerably more threatening looking. So he's going to use his power to cast Ultima and just completely wipe us out, much like the Beatrix fights that we encountered earlier in the game. That's... yeah. Alright, so yeah, this is where I'll end it. I'll catch you guys in the next installment. Till then, later everyone.